Hi there, Rochelle here for Dreaming English, and it's New Year's Eve, and tonight one of the things that my family usually does is make fried calamari. Now I forgot to take it out last night, so it's still frozen. So it says, let's see what it says. It says, keep frozen, do not refreeze. Thawing instructions. Thaw calamari in refrigerator overnight. Oops, I forgot that. Which would be the refrigerator, right? And then rinse with cold water. For quicker thawing, which is what I'm going to need to do, remove calamari from bag and thaw under cold running water for 3 to 5 minutes. Pat dry and use immediately. So that's what I'm going to have to do because I forgot to put it in the refrigerator. Wanted to show you I made another bread, another challah bread. So I thought in this video I would show you what we do. We make challah bread, which I've already made a video about making that, and we make fried squid. So I will be showing you that as soon as I get this squid de-thawed. I've been de-thawing the calamari and I thought I would show you what it looks like. So this is the calamari. It's almost de-thawed, but it's still a little bit hard, so I'm going to keep on running under the water. And these are the legs. And what I'll do when it's completely de-thawed is I'll be cutting it up into little circles, and I'll be covering it with cornmeal. And then I will be deep frying it, and I'll be deep frying it in this deep fryer over here, which Katarina doesn't really like this fried squid, but Vincent and I do, so we have a lot of fried squid that we'll be able to eat and we won't have to share it with her. Alright, so I'm still working on de-thawing it and I'll be back. This tradition of making fried squid was my Italian grandmother's tradition. We would always do this on Christmas Eve mostly. We did it other times of the year, but it was a big thing that we did on Christmas Eve. And then I would go, after my grandmother no longer did this, I would go to my aunt's house and my aunt and uncle's house, and all the family would get together there. So this year, because of coronavirus, we're not able to go and get together. So we're just going to have a quiet night at home, play some games, eat some squid, and enjoy just the family that lives here in our house. For Christmas and for other holidays, we did a Zoom holiday where we would eat our food and have the computer so we could see our family and talk to them. But this year, for New Year's Eve, we're going to just have a quiet night. Sometimes it can get a little tiring to be on the computer all the time, even when you're seeing your family. So that's something that we're not doing for tonight, but hopefully there will be no more Zoom Easters and Zoom Christmases and Zoom Thanksgivings. So let's see how the squid is doing. The squid looks the same, but it's softer now, so I'm going to start cutting it up. Alright, so I'll take some of the squid. And I'll just start cutting it up into rings. And then I need to pat it, I need to dry it. So I'm going to just cut up a little bit to start with. Enough for one batch. And actually what I'll do to dry it is I'll put it inside of this strainer. See if that's enough for one batch. And then see if you can see, because it's still a little frozen, it's a little bit easier actually to cut when it's a little frozen. So these squid, what they do in the ocean is, the tube part, is they squirt out some of the ink to scare the fish or blind the fish in the eyes, and then they'll take their legs and they will put their legs around the fish. And one time my father, now these squid that I'm getting are all cleaned, but my grandfather would buy them and they weren't cleaned yet. And so he was cutting them and he showed me how the squid had its tentacles and its whole body around a fish, because it must have been caught. The squid must have been caught when the squid was catching the fish. So the fish was inside of here, and the tentacles were around here, and there was the fish. And so my grandfather, when you buy the squid that's not clean, sometimes you can find a squid that still has, that might have been the process of catching its own dinner. We'll need to put oil into my my deep fryer. When I put so I'll be able to put the squid in here like this, but when they're frying, I want to make sure that they're down here. So I'm going to want to put at least enough oil so that way the squid will be down underneath the oil. So I'll just pour the oil in. And I'm going to start heating that up because I can't start until the oil is heated up. It takes quite a bit of oil to do this. Alright, I'm going to plug it in and turn it up. So it has a dial here. This is off. When I turn it, the blue light turns on, and I turn it all the way up to 370, and that's that. I'm going to wait for that to heat up. Okay, so if you hear that, that's the sound you want to hear. Now it's hot enough. And I can see the bubbles. I don't know if you can see that. See the bubbles starting in there? So that's what you want it to look like. So you want it to have the bubbles coming up. And now when I put this in here, that's what you want to see. This is very, very dangerous to use hot oil. And I want to do 3 minutes. Okay, Google, please set a timer for 3 minutes. And while that's going, I get the next batch going. And get that ready. This particular hot oil deep fryer, I only use it once a year. One time for the whole year, New Year's Eve. That's it. Because I don't deep fry other things. I have an oven. I have a air fryer, which uses air to fry food. I'm not exactly sure how it does that. I have a crock pot, I have a pressure cooker, I have all kinds of other things, but this particular thing, I only use it to make fried squid once a year. So that's it. I bought it, I think I bought it like 5 years ago at Kohl's, and I paid $10, so I'm definitely getting my money's worth. It's kind of a smaller deep fryer, but it's big enough for our family. And so the ingredients are pretty simple. You're going to want cornmeal or flour, vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is what you want, the cornmeal and vegetable oil. After you're done, you'll want to put a little bit of salt. So I just will sprinkle a little bit of salt on them, and then they're just ready to eat. Sometimes people will eat them with sauce. So I make my own sauce, but today I didn't. So today we're going to have Paul Newman's roasted garlic. I don't get sponsored by Paul Newman. Actually, I love this brand because all of the profit they give to charity, so they help other people, maybe people that don't have enough to eat. So I do love to buy Paul Newman's brand, and it tastes good too. So that's what we're going to use. You can eat these plain, or you can eat them with sauce, and I recommend this particular brand if you can find it. And I'll put some of the sauce in these lovely, I love these little dishes. They have cats on them. I bought these when I was in Disney World. They're kind of like in Chinese restaurants, they will serve soup in these. Okay, Google, stop. Alright, so let's see how these look. Oh, these are good. The only thing is I lost some of them. Some of them fell out into the oil. I must have put too much oil. So I'll put them up here to let them dry a bit before I stick them in there. Another thing that we do on New Year's Eve is we play this trivia game called I Know. And basically the game is called Trivia for Your Eyes. So the idea is that there's a bunch of pictures and you get a different category. You have, see, these dice that have different categories, and then you get a category, maybe it's people, maybe it's places, and then you have to see one of the cards and know what it is, and you need to say what it is. Like maybe it's Bill Gates, or maybe it's the Grand Canyon. And then I believe that the dice also has the level, maybe like level 1, 2, or 3, and it has a question. So then you have to answer a question about Bill Gates and get it correctly, and then you get the card. So we play this game. I know, and we play that on New Year's Eve after we're done eating our squid, or like after I'm done cooking all the squid. So when these are done, they're going to, if you can see, they're going to look like little rings. Little rings. Or you might have some that are with little legs. Some people don't like the ones with legs, but I don't mind them. And these are part of the body part. These are what make up the little rings. So that's what you end up with. They're good, as I said, with some marinara sauce. Bon appetit. So I would love to know what you make for New Year's Eve or for New Year's Day. What kinds of foods do you eat? What kinds of games do you play? Let us know in the comments below. That would be awesome. And if you like this video, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.